In a lot of ways, the Tesla Model S changed the way in which consumers viewed electric vehicles. With its futuristic styling, tons of technology, and amazing acceleration, there's no doubt that this car is a force to be reckoned with. But as it moves along in years and with more and more competitors coming into the market, we're here to find out today if this OG EV still has what it takes to be the king of electric.
The Tesla Model S went on sale in 2012, and by the end of 2018, Tesla had sold more than 250,000 Model S's worldwide. If nothing more, Tesla has proven that electric vehicles are viable and can be lived with every day. The one we have here is a Tesla Model S Performance. It's best to think of Teslas first and foremost as consumer technology, with the car stuff being a result. And like other pieces of technology, say your television or smartphone, Tesla doesn't promote model years. But looking at the 10th digit of the VIN, you can determine the model year, and our vehicle is a 2019 Model S. Because software is such an important part of what makes these vehicles unique, over-the-air updates allow most owners to always have the latest changes. Tesla isn't like traditional automobile manufacturers and will often release new hardware updates and rearrange trim levels overnight. We took the opportunity to visit our local Tesla gallery, and we'll also show some footage from the Model S they had on display there. The Tesla Model S we have has the recent Raven updates. That means there are some things worth mentioning. The Model S received a facelift halfway through 2016, and now has a smooth, solid front bumper versus the previous bumper with the oval insert that was meant to simulate a grille. Full LED headlights come standard up front. There's also LED fog lights. I like the latest design of the Model S, and it's aging well. 8 years since its release, and it still looks elegant and futuristic. The slim grille opening on the Model S helps break up the front bumper some, especially compared to the Model 3, which looks like a sad platypus. Looking at the Model S from the side, everything about it looks sleek and efficient. The looks aren't deceiving because the Model S has a very low drag coefficient of 0.23 according to Tesla. In the rear, there's also LED lighting, and with the release of the Raven Model S, Tesla has gone away from using numbers to designate trims such as 75D and P100D, and instead buyers can simply get the long-range model or the performance model. All models now get dual motors, which means all of them are all-wheel drive. The red line under dual motor lets you know this is a performance model. As of today, long-range models start at $79,990 and performance models start at $99,990. Tesla's marketing says you can subtract another $5,500 worth of gas savings from those prices. Performance models also receive a slim carbon fiber lip spoiler on the rear and red painted brake calipers. The 21-inch Sonic carbon twin turbine wheels add $4,500 to the price. There are also 19-inch carbon wheels available for $1,500. The Model S comes standard with 19-inch silver wheels. The pearl white paint comes standard. Black, silver, and blue can be had for $1,500, and red costs $2,500. One of the most attractive things about the Model S is the fact that it's a hatchback, making it very practical. Opening the power-lifting tailgate gives you access to 26.3 cubic feet of cargo space. The rear seats fold down, extending the storage into the cabin. Under the floorboard, you can find more storage in the charging connector. There's also 2.1 cubic feet of storage up front. In total, the Model S has roughly 28 cubic feet of storage. That's more than cars like the Porsche Panamera, which is rated at close to 18 cubic feet, and Audi A7, which has close to 25 cubic feet. Porsche's newly released Taycan has 14.3 cubic feet in the rear and 2.8 cubic feet in the front, for a total of 17.1 cubic feet of cargo space when you get the 4S. Taycan turbos have even less space in the rear. Getting into the Model S can be done using the key fob, which, well, looks like a Model S. With the fob in my pocket, the car senses me approaching, unlocks the vehicle, and presents the door handles. The same thing happens when leaving the vehicle. Once it detects the fob is out of range, the handles retract, the mirrors fold, and the vehicle becomes secure.
All right, so hopping into the Tesla Model S Performance, and obviously there's been some talk about the use of materials in Tesla's fit and finish, and I do see some of that here. I mean, there's some questionable use of plastics where I'm just kind of like, why did y'all choose to use this plastic versus other types? And some of the panel gaps, so on and so forth, that you just don't get in European competitors. So cars like the BMW M5 or the Mercedes AMG E63. Those cars just have an amazing build quality to them that you just simply don't get in this car. But I think the payoff also is that there's so much more technology in terms of futuristic technology that you get in the Model S that you don't have in those other vehicles.
The Model S's interior has a very modern and minimal design. Again, the materials are fine, but not great for this class of vehicle, but there simply isn't that much materials to begin with. Although the Model S competes pretty closely with the Mercedes-Benz E-Class, due to a partnership with Daimler, it borrows some of its parts from Mercedes. The most obvious pieces are the door switches and wheel stalks, pulled from the 4th generation E-Class. If you want the white interior and ash wood accents like our car, look to pay $1,500. Carbon fiber trim accents with white interior is a $2,000 upgrade. Other color and trim options are available. Black interior with wood accents comes standard. The center armrest has 2 independent sliders with cup holders underneath. Because there isn't a transmission or drive shaft, the middle tunnel is used for storage. On the right side of the screen, there is a button that opens the glove compartment. On the left is a button for the hazard lights. In terms of cubbies, pockets, and spaces to hold items, that's about it. There's zero storage in the doors for both the front and rear. Seems a bit odd because I imagine door storage is a popular place to store items for a lot of drivers and passengers. Rear passengers do get their own climate control vents and USB ports. The floor in the rear is also completely flat due to the lack of a drivetrain, delivering more comfort for passengers seated in the middle. The Model S has a tinted glass roof with UV and infrared protection. Up front, the 17-inch touchscreen dominates the dash and controls almost all of the car's functions. Some might view this as an example of Tesla's commitment to technology. However, I see it as a huge distraction. Sure, we're moving into a world where self-driving cars will become a reality, but it's no surprise that I hate touchscreens, and they require a lot more attention to operate than physical buttons. Ergonomically, I prefer physical buttons over pecking through a touchscreen. But in the world of touchscreens, this is a very good one. There's a lot of functions and features available, but for the sake of time, I will only give a brief overview of the center touchscreen. With the Raven update, the Model S Performance has the latest Tesla media control unit and hardware. Starting at the bottom, you can find most of your climate control functions for stuff like AC and heated seats and steering wheel. Pressing the car icon will bring up the quick menu with access to common controls like turning on the headlights and popping the trunk. On the left side, you will find a number of options for settings you can adjust. These include suspension, lights, driving, autopilot, vehicle, display, trips, navigation, safety and security, service, and software. Pressing the Tesla icon up top will give you access to a handful of options, including fun things such as the whoopee cushion and entertainment options such as YouTube and the Tesla Arcade. The steering wheel also has 2 buttons on the left and right that allow you to control various functions, and see certain information with your fingertips. Press and hold a button and you can change the function and information it controls. The Model S uses two motors, one up front and one in the rear, to effectively make the dual-motor Model S performance all-wheel drive. With the Raven update, the Model S has its front induction motor replaced by the rear motor found in the Model 3. It's a reluctance motor and makes 275 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. The rear motor remains an induction motor and puts out 503 horsepower and 531 pound-feet of torque. I'm not going to pretend to know a ton about how it all works, but the new setup does provide the Raven Model S with more efficiency without losing power. The motors are powered by a 100 kilowatt-hour battery pack that sits low in the middle of the vehicle. The setup doesn't require a transmission, and that means power is there immediately when you need it. Combined, the motors make 778 horsepower and 841 pound-feet of torque. See what this beast has? Jesus Christ! Like, why do you need that? It's crazy. And it's so instantaneous. I mean, you don't have to wait for it. You smash the pedal and it just goes. Roller coasters have the magnets that just shoot them forward. Like, that's what this thing feels like. It feels almost like a magnetic situation. I don't know, but jeez. The Model S Performance is capable of doing 0 to 60 in 2.4 seconds according to Tesla. It's worth mentioning that in 2017, Motor Trend tested a P100D Ludicrous that hit 60 miles per hour in 2.28 seconds and ran through the quarter mile in 10.5 seconds at 125 miles per hour. We didn't do a full-on Ludicrous Plus launch. One, I didn't want to put unnecessary stress on the powertrain, and two, I didn't have the patience to wait 45 minutes for everything to heat up. Even without using Ludicrous Plus, I would imagine the odds of finding something else on the road that can outrun the Model S Performance to just past legal speeds is next to zero. Cruising at 30 miles per hour and want to go 60 miles per hour, the Model S Performance can get you there before you can say, go 60 miles per hour. That's just I don't even know how to explain it. Like, wow. With the Raven update, all Model S's get adaptive suspension that can be set to standard and sport. Switching between standard and sport, I didn't notice too much of a difference for the street driving I did, but overall the ride feels well planted and the suspension did a great job of soaking up bumps. The steering, however, feels detached. There's good weighting, but I didn't feel connected to the road. The handling characteristics of the Model S are competent, but don't inspire too much excitement. It's the same with the acceleration. Yes, sub 3 seconds runs to 60 will always be thrilling, but it's all a bit uneventful when compared to a combustion engine powered vehicle. Cars like the E63 AMG-S can be downright violent when they accelerate, but there's none of that with the Model S. Press the pedal and there's an assertive force that nails you to the seats, but beyond that, there's really no drama. If the result is all you care about, the Model S certainly gets the job done. If you care more about the overall event of accelerating, internal combustion engine powered vehicles still provide more excitement in my opinion. But acceleration is just one of the Model S's tricks. The other is the optional $7,000 full self-driving system, which is capable of navigating on autopilot, including taking on-ramps, overtaking slower traffic, auto lane changes on the highway, auto park, and summon mode. Future updates should include recognizing and responding to stoplights and stop signs, and automatic driving on city streets. The system uses a network of cameras, sensors, and radar located around the vehicle. All of this technology is clearly leading us towards self-driving cars, but it's technology that Tesla owners are able to experience now. While all of this technology sounds cool, it did require me to pay more attention to the car and screens than I would otherwise. On open highways with little traffic, the system is great and you can set it and relax. But when there's a lot going on around you, the system is always up to something that needs your attention and approval. The lane change system, for example, whether it's trying to switch lanes to take an upcoming exit or to overtake slower traffic, always tends to want to switch lanes when another vehicle is next to you. So you end up driving alongside a truck with your signal on and nowhere to go. In order to switch lanes, default seems for the car to want to slow down in order to get over, which probably annoys those behind you. Drivers can adjust how aggressive the system is, and we admittedly had ours set to Mad Max, but it still made choices that a competent human driver would avoid. The technology is cool, but comparatively, it's a bit of a bad driver. The normal autopilot system is good, however, and comes standard. It will steer, accelerate, and brake automatically. To activate the autopilot system, you pull the stalk on the left of the wheel one time. To activate the self-driving system, you pull the stalk twice. In the navigation menu, you can also choose to navigate on autopilot, and the car will take on and off ramps for you. The instrument screen is clean and provides a good amount of information. I like how the animations show the traffic around you, acting as a blind spot monitor. The animations are good, and you can tell the difference between smaller cars and semi-trucks. The system is even capable of displaying safety cones. The cameras can also be used in Sentry mode, which monitors and records any activity happening around the car while it is secured. Being free of gasoline is an exciting part of owning a Tesla. Our Model S Performance, as it is spec'd, has an estimated range of 326 miles. Long-range models are rated at 390 miles. Most owners will do their charging at home. We juiced our Model S at the closest supercharging station, which is about 20 minutes from where I live, and one of only 2 supercharging stations within 50 miles. So pointing out places to charge may be a reality for some people, but for the most part, when combined with charging at home, there isn't too much of an inconvenience. It took about 40 minutes for me to go from under 40% charge to just over 95%. By the time I made it back home, I was down to 89%, and the next morning after sitting overnight, I was down to 83%. Still not bad. The Model S has existed all of its life without any direct competitors. With Porsche's new Taycan starting to show up in showrooms, that's no longer the case. But even after having been on the market for 8 years, it's awesome to see how competitive the Model S is with the Taycan. They're close to makes no difference, just as quick to 60 miles per hour and through the quarter mile. Sure, the Taycan doesn't suffer from decreased acceleration as the battery drains like the Model S, and the Taycan certainly has better build quality and driving dynamics. However, the Taycan in top trim costs roughly double the price of the Model S Performance, but isn't necessarily twice the car. It's almost like Porsche only aimed to catch Tesla, but not surpass them. Or is it possible that Tesla was so far ahead of its time with the Model S that its technology is still class-leading even today? I'd imagine it's a bit of both. Either way, I would feel comfortable saying, if you're in the market for a fully electric luxury vehicle, the Tesla Model S is still the benchmark and should be near or at the top of your list of vehicles to buy. Thanks for watching, and remember to like, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram.